world. Long distance railroads, you could just kick back and go for a ride all the way across the country without having to do anything, just sit down. Trains were cool, when they were invented, it was a big deal. Before the train, it was the horse and carriage. Pretty interesting to think about. Just over 200 years ago, that's what you had, was a horse and carriage. That was, trains weren't even around, in the early 1700s. Getting into the late 1700s is when they started to become, being invented. And it was actually patented in England in the early 1800s, the locomotive itself. And when they invented it, it was made to just go on a flat grade. If you had a big old giant mountain, engineers back there going, what's if you had a big old giant mountain, you either had to go all the way around it or blast through it. You could not go uphill. You just had your two rails. And it's similar to trying to go up a icy hill with bald tires. You got no traction on that flat steel rail. That wheel's going to start spinning once you try to go uphill. So, Sylvester, he thought of having the gear and chain, so you can have those teeth kind of link into that chain and give you that grip you need. All right, they're firing up. They're going to start rolling. Woo! When this engine... Wow, holy cow.
Yeah, Ron, she's talking about two more people. I think that's what they mean.
Everybody clap when they get on. They look at me.
You okay, bud?
Yeah. This is exciting. This is my first.
It's gonna tip back when we start going up the hill.
Like that?
Yeah. All right. So don't think you're nervous.
Alright.
All right.
Alright, I just let our engineer Adam know we're all set. He's gonna crank the steam, get ready for a smooth burst of acceleration. Woo! Jumping now!
Woo!
So you guys are watching that cog gear driving right through that chain right in the middle of the tracks. I tell you, once we start getting up above this bridge, our fireman Artie is going to start going ham shoveling the coal. And every now and then in this smoke, you get this little bit of cinder action. I'm going to be popping my shades on to protect my eyes. Getting about maximum speed of 1.5 miles an hour. Hold on tight. Just want to do a quick reiteration of the rules on the train. I know we got a couple extra people that jumped on last minute. I'll tell them, my name's Eli. I'm your brakeman. You got any questions, give me a holler. Guys, don't look so bummed out. I'll make this quick, all right? I just got to make sure nobody, you can go to the back of the coach and check out the engine. I got to ask you kindly not to crank up the brakes. You got the rope going across the ceiling, attaching the coach to the engine. Don't go pulling that rope. We got this door up here in the front. I'll ask you kindly not to come out on the platform, but you are allowed to come up to the door. You guys are going to need to...
You're smart about that.
Awesome. The seats tilt. They told me the seats tilt.
Coming up onto a bit of a steeper grade, you guys will feel that grade change there. This is about a 35% incline right here. If you stand it up in the aisle, it's going to feel a little bit like a lead stand. Michael Jackson did, back in the day, did a dance pose like this on stage. I don't know if you guys wanted to give it a try, but if you guys wanted to give it a try, you got to have balance, and you can do the Michael Jackson dance pose. Just don't go tumbling, or give it a try if you want. You can do it backwards, it's kind of fun too. We power the summit with their electricity. There's these boxes every now and then. This will build a sick jump in the wintertime if you ski in this mountain.
He is open.
So this is going to give you guys that much more of a understanding of how intense the build was originally back in the day when they first started to build. You know, you're getting closer to seeing the tracks going all the way up Skyline. Now, we're also going to go up to a switch where the tracks are going to split off into two sections where we're going to have a passing loop. And there's going to be an entire another set of trains off to our left that you can look at. You know, get another shot of the cog gear, the mechanical stuff underneath it if that's what you want to look at. You're going to see a large amount of jealousy in all the other passengers' faces because they're not riding on our cool steam train. So our engineer Adam is going to slow the train down before the switch. And part of my job on the way up the mountain is to signal the engineer through the switches. So I'll let him know we're all set to head on through.
Are we going this way or this way? Alright.
So is this where you got off?
Yes.
You just don't remember that well, do you?
So check out the details of these trestles here. This one's a good 10 feet off the ground as it goes around the bend. These trestles are an original design from 1866, but they're all the wood and steel's been replaced over the years. That's why the tracks are numbered. But when they replace all the pieces of wood and steel, they replace them in the same exact dimension that they were originally built in. So what these tracks look like now is what they looked like back in 1866, original design. 3 miles, over 3 miles in distance, and it climbs uphill over 3,500 feet in elevation. There's some steep climbs. You feel going around those turns, the cog gear gets a little chattery. You got to pretty much keep most of it a decent straight shot. One huge thing that was holding Sylvester Marsh back from being able to get the patent was the U.S. Civil War was going on, and he didn't have enough people to help him build it. He had to hire a large crew. Well, as soon as this U.S. Civil War ended, 1866, he hired 300 workers, veterans, fresh out of the U.S. Civil War. Imagine the thoughts going through their heads. They just got out of war, they're looking for a job, they found a job building the first ever mountain climbing train going up the side of one of the gnarliest mountains in the world. Pretty intense, isn't it? And they were working wicked hard. They only had 5 years. The New Hampshire legislature wasn't going to support it for long. And that's why they had to get it done in 3 years' time. 1869, this railway opened for business. Going to the Tip Top House. You guys can see that today. We're getting close to above trees. This will show you really how intense the weather gets up here. And the business that it opened, for, you guys might be wondering, well, what was the business? Never used for industrial reasons. It was invented for the people. It was open for the people. First train that went up in 1869 was a passenger car, just like us.
Look at that scenery.
Alright, we got another switch. Same procedures last time. We'll slow right down, just about to a stop, so I can signal Adam, let them know we're all set. Curious about the little shack to the left? Those are solar panels on the roof. It was just to the left of the switches we went by. It's kind of behind us now. Got batteries inside. They're all push button switches. If you're curious how we throw them, Engineer Adams reaching out at the train window right now to hit the button. If you want to watch, you can. We used to have to stop the train, park it, and get off, so the switches are all manual on hinges. Lightest weight pieces were over 100 pounds, and the switches were broken up into 9 pieces, so it was quite a challenge to not only do it, but also train how to do it. You gotta do it right, you know what I mean? You don't want to throw the switch wrong. These new push-button switches they put in about the early 2000s, game changer without a doubt, especially being solar powered.
I'm gonna end the stream here because my phone is at 30%. I gotta save the rest when we go back down.